Today I'm going to do a video to teach you how to weave on straws. Here's my straws in my hand, and Lila doesn't have any straws because Mommy's the one that's doing it today. What we're going to need is you'll need a pair of scissors. Scissors safe.
I don't have my scissors.
You don't have your scissors because you don't need your scissors. And we've also got straws, however many that you're going to make your project wide. This is just a preview of the finished product, so by the time I teach you all this, you'll know how to make anything you want out of yarn and straws. And tape. Also, you need tape. Now, let me grab my yarn here. You will also need a skein of yarn. You're not going to use the whole thing, unless, of course, you're making something giant, like a blanket. I don't think I'd do that on a straw, though. I'd learn to crochet. And when you take your yarn, you need to make whatever you start with. You need to make the number of straws you have and twice the length of whatever you're making. So if you want around your head, you need to go twice the length of around your head because you want the extra space to tie. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our straws, my 6 straws, wherever my 6th one went, and you're going to individually take one string of yarn, and we're going to thread it through, go through the bottom. You can sit here and thread it through if you want, push it through, but easier, suck them through. Try not to choke on them because yarn is slightly fuzzy in the mouth. Poke it in the end there, suck up the yarn, pull it over on the top, just enough to tape on the edge. Got my tape, and get just enough to wrap it around the straw once. We can tape it on just like that, push it down, so there we go. I'll show you, I've got the rest of my straws all done here, right there. So now what we need to do is we need to find the end of our yarn again. So I've got mine right here, nice and convenient for weaving. And what we're going to do is I've got my straws in my hand, and this I am going to tie onto our first straw. So however you like to tie a knot, that's how you need to tie your knot. And just fasten it onto the first straw. So let me use my fingers here. It's very tiny work, so you can't really see, but I'm just tying it into a knot around itself, pulling this down and tightening it on. Made sort of a slip knot there. I don't know how to make specific knots, so this is not a knot tying lesson. That's a whole other video. And straightening my yarn. And what I want to do is, almost forgot the most important part. Now that we've got these all lined up, before we start knitting, we want to go, or weaving, we want to go all the way to the end. And we want to leave as much as we need to tie. So I'm recommending 6 inches or more because, like I said, I messed up before. So I'm going to go with this much because I have plenty of yarn to work with here. So I'm going to just, what you do is you just tie it over, sort of in a loose knot, pull it through itself, and then I have a tail. So this tail is perfect for tying now. With all the yarn in my hands, we're going to start on the outside of our first one. We might have to hold this little tail down just so we figure out where the yarn's going to go at first. And what we're going to do is we're going to S shape through all of the straws. So we take our yarn, I'll spread my straws out. Having bendable straws for this is pretty convenient for me spreading them out and showing you. But I'm going to hold my little tail right here between my fingers. Woo, and I'm going to go in and out each straw. So what we're doing is we're weaving in between everything. So there's that. See, they're on every other one. On the other side, they're on the opposite. And then the next one, we're going to go in and out, just the opposite way. Continue snaking it. So by the time you do one and then the other, you'll have one loop on every single row. I got the same thing going on over here on my hand. And then you just keep on going. So it's pretty fun. You can get really meticulous about it and go one at a time to make sure everything tucks down and nice like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and around. Or you can just kind of snake it in between. And that's what I like to do, is because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pull it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pull it down. And so I've got a decent amount on here. So I'm just going to keep on going. Now a little trick when you're working with yarn is they come in these things called skeins. This is a skein of yarn. This is a certain brand, TLC. It's got Cozy Cat on it. It's pretty comfy yarn. You can get anything from big, fat, thick yarn down to this little skinny stuff here. But when you do it, do not undo it from the outside. If you undo it from the outside, then it's just going to roll around everywhere. What you want to do is you want to poke your finger in the middle and find where it comes out at, and then pull it this way. Pull it out. There's going to be whatever string comes from the middle is the one that you want to pull out of, because if you pull it out, then it stays in one place. See? So it's just unraveling inside of itself, and you just pull it out. So that's how to work with yarn. There, very important. Otherwise, you're going to be chasing this all over the house. And that's no fun. Right, now, as we go, you're going to get to the point where you're building up a little closer to the tops of your straws. You can go further than this, but I might as well show you now. What you want to do is you want to pull it up. And mine's giving me a little bit of grief because I have, like I said, the bendy straws, so they got little bumpies on them. You should just be able to hold your project on the yarn and just slide the straws up. You might need to rotate them back and forth, but just pull them up. Whatever you do, do not completely push your project off of the straws until you are done with it. If you do that, you mess it completely up, and that is not good. Now, this is an important time to point out that in the event that you see that you have missed something, right here I haven't missed anything, but you see every single one, there's a little divot where they crisscross into the other straw. I'll show you an example of what happens when you mess that up. What happens is that instead of it going in and out, right here, that one will be straight down across two of them. And if you see that that's happened, if for whatever reason you've messed up on your stitches, it's really easy to backtrack. All you gotta do is just pull it off and then go back to wherever you messed up at. You'll see a little line between the two rows. I'll show you what it looks like. Look at that. There it is right there. You see that I've gone over two right there instead of gone in the middle of itself. And we don't want to do that because then it's not right. I mean, it's not going to hurt it, but it's not right. And you've got extra stitches on here and it messes the whole thing up. So we can just pull backwards till we get back to where we were. And we'll keep going, and I'll make sure that I zigzag around it the correct way. Alright, so now we're about getting to the point where we want to push the yarn down. And some of it will be coming off the straw this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist up. I'm going to hold my project here and twist up the straw. And I feel my little bumpy. I don't like to take it below where the flexible part is on the straw. So I like to pull it up just until that's right on that flexible part. and then pull it all the way up about there. So I'm pulling it up about 2 or 3 inches. So that means that the bottom part is going to be falling off of our thing. So this is right about where the end of the straw is here. If you see that, that's right about where it's coming up. Over the pushing down once more. Pull up your straw. We're right about where you've got, you know, a couple inches left on it still. You don't want to push it down all the way. And so now we've got, there's where we're sitting. So we've got a little bit more on the strings. It's going to get more and more on the strings as we go down. I've got a significant amount of space to cover here. So there's my little knot right there at about my armpit level. So I think my next break is going to be, we're going to use the magic of the internet and fast forward until I get this done. After you've got where you want it to be, we take the end. I'm going to go through one more time so I can do it on this side. And we're going to cut it off. We're going to tie it onto the last straw. And when you're done, you push the whole thing off of the straws. The whole thing down. Pushing it down to the knot. And then sliding it down that way. And this is going to be a belt for Lila. Now what you're going to do is when you tie this final knot, here I can cut the straws off altogether. I'm not going to cut them right here because that wouldn't give me very much to end with. So I'm going to cut the tips of the straws off just like that. And then pull out those. Hi, baby! Hi! I need to see your body. Can I see your body? Yep. Come here. I am. Oh, this is my big dog right here. Can you stand up tall right here? Now what we're going to do is we're going to smush it down a little. And make sure. Let's find your belt. Oh! You're so crazy. I'm going to tie us a knot right about here. A little where I smush it. And you want to smush it down really good right here before it. Tie your knot a little bit above where you just shoved it down. And then, so we've got our knot. Tighten it out so I've got a nice long tail for tying. Then we can take it and we can smush it back the other way. Even it out some. Where are my scissors? It doesn't matter where your scissors are because we're not cutting right now. Oh. Lila's are not cutting. Can I see your body now? So we've got this end tied, so there's that end. Oh, it goes all the way down to that end. So now we've got that to go. So we've got 2 tails on each end. Plenty of that. Let's see your body because I've made you a belt. I've made you a belt. Is that a beautiful belt or what? So a beautiful belt. Shh, so we can take it. She's very excited. So we can take it and we can tie it. We can tie it in a bow. Oh.
If you're happy and say hooray.
Hooray.
If you're happy, clap your hands.
Clap your hands.
If you're happy, stomp your feet.
Stomp your feet. Now Lila has a beautiful belt. Can you show the camera? Ta-da! So now everybody that's watched this video should be able to make whatever they need to out of yarn. Can you say they're going to be like a MacGyver? MacGyver. You're going to be like a MacGyver. You just get straws and tape and yarn and you'll be able to make anything. Belts, headbands. I don't know. You could probably get creative and make gloves. I don't know. But we're going to say bye to everybody, okay, Lila? Tell them everybody. Say I love my new belt.
new belt.